Sunday will be a homecoming for Raider head coach Dennis Allen. He was born in Atlanta because his dad is a former Atlanta Falcon linebacker in the late 60s, early 70s. In fact, Dennis's first entree into the NFL as a coach was as an assistant coach for Dan Reeves and the Falcons back in 2002. Welcome to our Silver and Black Show. Greg Papa reunited with the two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback of the Raiders, Jim Plunkett, and the Raiders certainly have a steep challenge Sunday going to Atlanta. The Falcons off to their best start ever, Jim, are one of two unbeaten teams in the NFL.
Yeah, there's no question they're going to have their hands full with the Atlanta Falcons. They're playing exceptional football right now. Matt Ryan is having probably the best year of his career so far. They're running the ball well. They're throwing it exceedingly well. Two great receivers in Julio Jones and Roddy White. I mean, they get the job done moving that football defensively. They're pretty darn good. Not so good against the run, 27th against the run, but overall defense very solid. So, as I said, the Raiders are going to have to play some error-free football against the Falcons.
Falcons rallied back in the fourth quarter last Sunday to win in Washington to go to 5-0. Of course, the Raiders had their bye week last week, Jim, so they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this football game. And last week's bye week was a good one. The Raiders picked up a half game on every team in the AFC West. The Chargers lost at New Orleans on Sunday Night Football 31-24. Denver lost in New England 31-21. And Kansas City lost at home to Baltimore at 9-6. So it is there for the Raiders. They simply have got to play better in the second quarter of the year.
Yeah, that certainly left them with some opportunity to get back in the race. They're only 2 down behind the leader. Still early in the season. They've only played 4 games right now. So, you know, it behooves them to get back in this race, play some good, solid football, take care of the football, decrease the turnovers, and get some of their own, which they have had trouble doing this year. Raiders
have had a nice home win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Certainly could have beaten the San Diego Chargers, but had some unfortunate injuries to their long snapper, which took them out of play there, Jim. So 1-3 after 4 weeks of the season. Let's each pick a silver lining, maybe a silver and black lining on the first quarter of the year. What's yours?
Well, I think penalties. I think they've cut down those penalties tremendously. It's kept them in a lot of ball games where in the past they've had those penalties that were just really game breakers and heartbreaking to begin with, and those have really been cut down, and I think it's helping the Raiders stay in these ball games.
Well, mine's going to be the emergence of tight end Brandon Myers. You know, in the offseason, Greg Knapp installs this offense, and the tight end is certainly a featured weapon in this West Coast offense. They wondered where they got to get the production from. Brandon Myers, opening night against San Diego, catches 5 footballs, comes back the next week in South Florida, catches 6 more. He had 5 in the win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, and outside of Darren McFadden, he's been the top pass catcher for the Raiders this year with 16. He has tremendous hands, Jim, and he knows how to get open.
He certainly does. He's added a lot to this offense. Actually, the last several years, there's been almost no tight end production, and right now Brandon Myers is, you know, one of the top players for this offensive unit. You know, not only doing a lot of the blocking, but coming up with key catches, and not just short ones. You know, he's averaging about 15 yards a catch.
Well, despite the 2 tough losses on the road, there have been a lot of exciting moments inside the O.co Coliseum this year. Opening night, Ice Cube making his grand appearance and rolling out the Raider anthem, Come and Get It. And then we got to see a little Darren McFadden in the Week 3 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers when he broke loose for 64-yard jaunt and a Raider touchdown. Here are some of the more exciting moments of the first 4 games of 2012.
Oakland Raiders, just win, baby.
Raider Nation!
Who's ready for a little Raider football today?
Raider fans, you guys got to check out Raiderville. It's a great place to come. It's free.
Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation.
Best fans in the world, baby.
Black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we
It's so exciting. The game hasn't even begun. Everybody's getting ready. The excitement, you see families with their kids all over the place. It's really exciting.
every down. First we score, then we clown. Having fun, look around. Nobody loud as a Raider crowd. Nobody proud as a Raider crowd. NFL, how you like me now? We gon' do this open style.
McFadden, a big hole over the middle. He may go 40. McFadden 30. McFadden 20. McFadden 10. 5. Touchdown! Raiders!
Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation.
New York coming all the way to South Beach. That's what's up.
And that's why we're here. Whether we travel 3,000 miles, 300 miles, it don't matter. Raider games will be there. Diehard Raiders. Love it.
Just win, baby. Win, baby.
Down the sideline he may go. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Raiders!
Al Davis. brothers, John Madden, Greg Papa, and Darren McFadden. He's a Pirate, Ken Stabler, always will be an Oakland Raider. Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, Jack Tatum.
He fumbled the ball, it's up in the air. Wheeler takes it for the Raiders.
The Brown brothers, Willie and Tim, Plunkett, Otto, y'all know Jim.
Here's Tannehill back.
Sacked.
Atkinson's put you to bed. Dave Casper, Cliff Branch, Tom Flores if you think you can. George Blanda, Howie Long, Marcus Allen, come back home. Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders.
Daniels got it up, and it is good!
They're undefeated. They're going to be excited. I think they're going to be trying to play at a high tempo, high pace.
Matt Ryan does a good job of getting the ball out, making the right reads. You know, he has a cannon. He can fit the ball in anywhere.
Their corners play with a lot of depth. You know, they'll start up near the line of scrimmage and turn and run out to a lot of a depth and run out with a lot of speed.
The atmosphere is going to be electric. It's going to be loud. This is important for us as far as the team just to maintain our composure and go out there and execute the game plan.
Okay, welcome back to the Silver and Black Show. Jim Plunkett along with head coach Dennis Allen here with Raiders. And coach, you know, you have a week off to rejuvenate and take a look at yourselves, but also, you know, the rest of the division, they all lost last week, so that's a kind of a plus.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously with the rest of the division losing, you know, it keeps us in the race, right. and we've got a lot of season left to play, and our guys are still confident that we can get this thing turned around.
You're from Atlanta. Your father played for the Atlanta Falcons at one time, so you're somewhat familiar with what goes on with the Falcons and in Atlanta in general, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was born in Atlanta, moved to Texas quickly thereafter, but then got my start in the National Football League in Atlanta. My first coaching job was there, so I'm real familiar with the program there.
Yeah, not only Atlanta, but you coached against them as well when you were with New Orleans. So yeah, as you mentioned, you should be pretty familiar with what they're doing, although, you know, some of the personnel has changed probably recently, but you know, Matt Ryan's still there. Yeah, no,
they're an extremely talented football team. They play really well on offense. They got a lot of weapons on offense, and then, you know, defensively they play extremely fast. They take the ball away, and then special teams are a real solid unit. So this is a big challenge for us.
You had a bye week, the entire team, injury-wise, people healing up, feeling good, and did you accomplish a lot by your self-evaluation of the football team? Yeah, we did. You know, we had 2 good days of practice last week. We were able to look at what we were doing offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game, take a look at what we were asking guys to do, and you know, we made some subtle adjustments to some of the things that we're doing, and you know, we hope to see positive results from that. The Atlanta defense ranked 27th against the rush. Is that something you're going to try to take advantage of and emphasize the run game? Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, we feel like we've got to do a better job in the run game. We feel like we've got one of the most explosive players in the National Football League, and Darren McFadden, and we've got to get him the ball and get him in space and let him work some of his magic. So, you know, I think as we go forward throughout the season, that's a point of emphasis for us. Sure, I know, I've been a quarterback. I know how important that running game is to the passing game as well. You know, the play action, sucking those linebackers up, making some of those safeties take a step in the wrong direction, and then you know, being able to take advantage of that as well. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And, you know, I mean, you know as well as all of us that this is a team football game, and we've got to make sure that we can make the game stay competitive, stay in a competitive balance so that we can get the running game going and get that working. We've got to be able to get off the field on 3rd down defensively and, you know, convert some 3rd downs on offense to keep some drives going. So there's some issues that we've addressed this bye week, and we'll see where we're at on Sunday. Darius Harrod-Bay took an awful shot against the Steelers a few weeks ago. How is his health, and is he ready to go? He's back and ready to go. It's really a blessing after, you know, watching the shot that he took. You know, it was a scary moment for all of us, but to have him back and have him ready to go is really an uplifting thing for us. You know, turnovers have been a problem for the Raiders, getting those turnovers. Is there anything different that you can do or emphasize that will help you get those turnovers? We work hard at it. I mean, I think probably the biggest thing that we've talked about is, you know, really up in the tempo and up in our aggressiveness, and how we go about tracking the football, how we go about going after the ball carrier, because we believe that that's totally something that we're in control of. We call them takeaways on defense. So we've really worked on that over the bye week. We've worked on it this week in practice. So we're going to be aggressive going after the football. Once again, another long trip, another tough football game. Good luck to you, Coach. Thanks, Jim.